Well, I think it's been a minute, Broncos country, but we are back. Mic'd up. I'm Mike Carmelini. Look at this. Joey Richards. Let's talk Broncos. Ben from Sports Talk Denver. This used to be. So just so you know, and just bear with me for a second there, guys, talking to you. When I first started this show 3-4 months ago, these two gentlemen volunteered to come on, and we did like a mock-up fake show just to see if everything worked. And so thanks to them, we're even here today to have I'm going to say the fifth best Broncos show in the nation. But since then, there's a few things have happened. These guys have kind of become big shots in Broncos country, and it's a little intimidating. My heart rate's up. I'm a little nervous because I do want to share a couple things with you. First of all, Joey is from Let's Talk Broncos. He's with Zach Seegers and Bree Macis, and they were voted by their peers as the #1 Broncos podcast in the world, and that's pretty special for them. And
do I get extra points for that, Mike?
No, shut up. And then that's enough out of you. And then just a quick, when I discovered Ben, truth be told, and so last June I rated him in my top 20 of the Carmelini top 20, and he had nine followers, 9 subs, maybe 9,000. I can't keep it all straight, but just as of today, we got to add something here if I can. I don't know how to do this. I don't know why nothing's working here.
Ooh. Oh, there, man. 25K, unreal.
Where'd it go? Why is it on yours and not on mine? Let's go.
Yeah, right there.
25,000. So these guys are like big shots now. I feel a little inadequate. But I guess I'm glad they're here. I guess I'm glad you get to see them. So, I mean, let's do this anyway, right? Oh, I'm so happy to be back with you guys. It's great to see you. Joey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'd like to remind you, you're bringing us back. The first podcast also happens to be your best podcast with me and Ben here, which is really the reason you have these nerves going on. Yeah.
I think it's a little hurtful that you say that because I really thought I was getting better, but I get it. I'll take it. Ben and I
let's
start with the deducts right there. And my guy Ben, how you holding up there, buddy? Good to see you.
I'm good, man. I feel like we should be watching a Nuggets game now, but instead we got to watch the flop king himself, Shai Gilgeous, and I'm happy that I get another go at Joey because luckily it doesn't count because it wasn't real, but Joey smoked me in our first go around, but it doesn't even count.
Is that what happened? Because I have no memory of that.
I got absolutely smoked, but I think now I'm 1-1. I lost to Sire Bettinger, and then I beat DMAC. So it's
your
like,
hero. You beat your hero. Is DMAC your hero?
Oh, absolutely.
He kind of is, isn't he?
He really is. I love him. Yep.
Is it? I mean, it's 2025. Is it at all gay, or is it just like? Would you like to go shirtless?
Oh yeah. I mean, Bo Nix is 1, and then DMAC is like right under him. But yeah.
Okay, so you would go shirtless, like hanging out. Okay.
Yeah, we'd throw
like arm and like when you were a kid and you would take a picture with your friend, you put your arm over his shoulder, like with no shirts. Yeah. You would do that with DMAC, and you'd be fine 100%. With that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We would.
I mean, Joey, obviously this show's changed a lot since the last time you were on. So I mean, we talk about a few other things, but you know what happens. Hey, we got these live comments going. Did you guys see this thing? Like you can put the comments on the screen. Judson, what's up? Good to see you. It's nice. Your chat just kind of. Not that there'll be anybody on there, but it's like if somebody does, like if my mom chimes in, we'll know about it. Guys, I think you know the drill here, right? Joey, you won the toss, and I'm going to go ahead and get your brand new State of the Union, if you would provide Broncos country. What do you say? May 22nd? What, OTAs next week? Is that right?
Yep.
Is that starting? Well, you should have a State of the Union. How are we sitting here today, Joey?
I'm excited. I think the Broncos sit really well right now. I'm super excited about it. The Dre Greenlaw, little injury report at the beginning gave me a heart attack. But the thing I am most excited for at the moment is this defense. This defense is going to be phenomenal. If they're not a top 5 defense this next year, I say I'm disappointed. That's the talent that they have on the field. And I think the last part in it is Vance Joseph. He's coaching for a head coaching gig this next year. If the Broncos do what they should do, Van Joseph is getting a head coach job. So you have motivation on your side. You have the talent on your side on that side of the field. So I'm super excited for it. Broncos defense should be phenomenal. And then you have Bo Nix going into sophomore year. It's all up and up for me right now. That's my Broncos State of the Union.
Yeah, I love that take. But I mean, we were talking about that last year, right? With VJ, like if he does well, but then we re-signed Leonard, right? So that's our guy in waiting, apparently, right? Is that the right name, Leonard?
Yeah, give him a little promotion. Yeah,
a little promotion, a title. So that was smart. So yeah, I think we're good either way. But yeah, I'm with you, Joey. I'm excited, and well, knowing Ben the way I know Ben, he's also excited. What do you say? What's your State of the Union there for us, Ben?
You know me, dude. I'm just always a pessimist. No, dude.
Oh my God.
so wildly hyped. You take a top 3 defense and that add the guys that Joey was talking about, but then in addition to it, you look at Jahdae Barron, and you know, I got to do a live draft show with the best in the biz, Mike, right there. And I'm not just saying for the points, but you know, that was a pick. At first I was like, what? We just got a corner, and it makes more and more sense and makes me more and more excited. And to just know that I would have been excited about next year, just knowing Bo is going to get better in his sophomore year, but then to finally give him a tight end, to now have like a game-changing running back in RJ Harvey. It's hard to not just be saying clear out your late January and early February, because the Broncos are making a deep, deep run.
Let's go. Love that. Ben knows how to play the game. Although the draft show was, so a couple things happened. So Joey and his gang had a draft party. So they didn't live stream.
Looked sick. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't live stream. So that was easily, half of our viewership right there. So that's why we almost beat DNVR. Well,
True.
I say almost beat, but I mean, we were neck and neck, like 10,000 people. We had 10,000 people watch our draft extravaganza.
Cool.
So, what was your guys' reaction, if you don't mind me asking, of Jahdae Barron when it first happened?
I think Mike had a Sith. Didn't you have like a Star Wars character? Like you jumped off screen because he saw it ahead of time, and I was like watching the TV, and I did not even look at any defensive players. Like as I was looking, because I'm just like, we're getting a running back. So I was like, I don't even know who this dude is. So at first it was shock, but there's just a deep sense of trust for Sean Payton in me that I like talked myself into it by the end. And now I just feel like what the Raiders and the Chargers did was so short-sighted to get a running back when they fall off turnip trucks, and yeah, so I'm super hyped. What was yours, man?
I was in very similar boat to you. Drafts, I love the draft. That's like my thing, really. Every year I look forward to it. It's one of my favorites. But the only position I really watched on defense or was paying attention to was defensive line. I had cornerback was not on my bingo card there at all. So, but the more I thought about it afterwards, I was like, okay, I get it. I understand it. The more I looked at Jahdae Barron, I understood what void he fills on this defense. As George Payton would say, you can never have enough cover guys. And I don't think you can.
Right.
Hopefully we never see Levi
They're harder to
Wallace
find
again.
than quarterbacks or something like that. Isn't that something George said? Yeah. Cornerbacks are harder to find than quarterbacks or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember how that. I don't remember how it went down. I don't know if I saw it on Twitter. Like we were trying not to we weren't going to leak picks or call picks earlier, but I saw it somewhere, like either my stream was ahead or I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, oh crap. I don't know if disappointment is the right word, but yeah, I was, and shocked might be a little strong, but I was surprised. But the draft is always that way. Like the draft, we talk ourselves into stuff, and then, the first few mocks come out, and then everybody starts following like what everybody else does, like the original work on mocks. It's very hard to find very different mock drafts in the first round. Like they're usually pretty common. There'll be a little bit of here and there, but everybody kind of agrees. But it's all like, I don't want to say everybody plagiarizes everybody, because they don't. They do their own work, or a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. But when you see mock drafts from people like Joey that put the time in and like actually sit down and look at these guys. I don't do that. So I respect the guys that do. I think Nick does a lot of that kind of work too, Nick Kendall. And that's just not me. So I pay attention to a few mock drafts. And at the end of the day, they kind of get a lot of things close, but the actual who goes to what team after like the first 3 picks, it's just such a crapshoot that nothing really shocks me that much anymore. But I was just surprised that it was a cornerback.
Yeah.
Like you said, like it was going to be a running back, maybe wide receiver, maybe a defensive line, a tackle, maybe an end, whatever. Like there were a few names that would have made sense, but yeah, it was weird, dude. And it took a while to like get excited about Jahdae Barron for me. Like I was like, why would this make me happy? Does this equal more wins? And you know what? It might equal a win.
Oh yeah.
If he finds a way to get on the field, like let's get into it.
Yeah.
Ben, is he starting?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. And I think some of our thoughts on like not being excited, I remember feeling the same exact way. I loved Clinton Portis. That was one of the first jerseys I had. And I'm like, who's this Champ Bailey guy? Like running back is so much more fun in Madden. And it ends up being like one of the best trades in Broncos history, and obviously a cornerback is so much more valuable to an NFL team than a running back. Like we could write a book of running backs that we have found in 6th, 7th undrafted dudes who've helped us win Super Bowls. And so you only find
Shanahan could.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that running game.
Yeah, 100%. But you can only find an elite corner in the first round. You very rarely find undrafted guys. Obviously, Chris Harris might be the exception to that. But I think you roll him out day one as your corner, like in the slot, and he's showed in college his ability to play outside and inside. And to me, just thinking in division, he's going to lock down Ladd McConkey, which and McMillan stepped up and had a good year 2 years ago. Last year wasn't quite as good. And I just feel like we never have to deal with Levi Wallace and a Jerry Jeudy situation where you're just like, we can't cover this guy, and so I'm feeling extremely excited, and I think he starts day one.
I got to deduct a point. I'm sorry, Ben, just for bringing that up.
Sorry,
that was
flashback.
It's a painful memory. Yeah, it was
triggering.
That was a little bad. Joey, is he starting? Is he going to be slot, or is he going to challenge for the outside, or is Vance going to get too creative with his versatility and screw this whole thing up? What's going to happen here?
Here's what I think that the days of calling a nickel corner like a non-starter are over. I don't think we would not say Chris Harris Jr. wasn't a starter.
No, nickel's a starter to me. He's a starter.
Right?
If he's playing nickel, he's starting.
Yeah, I think he is manning that nickel position. The Chiefs, right? This is somebody, Trent McDuffie, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. What they'll do with Trent McDuffie is in base, when it's only 2 cornerbacks on the field, they'll have him outside. And then when they go into nickel, 3 cornerbacks, they'll have Trent McDuffie slide on the inside. That's a starter. I think Chris Harris Jr., who for most of his career didn't even go to the outside, but was still a force on this defense. The NFL runs like 70%. 70% of their defensive snaps and more are out of base defense. That's a starter. If you're playing 70% of the snaps, you're a starter.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think he's definitely starting on this defense. I think it fills a void. When you look at some stats with Jaquan McMillan, really, I like Jaquan McMillan, quite frankly. I do like him. But some of the stats where how many yards after catch he allowed at that position, Jahdae Barron is going to cut that in half. Man, that's going to be a massive, massive difference there for the Broncos, just being able to take the ball carrier down right when he catches the ball. And then you already hear it in pressers. Immediately after his first day, Sean Payton said this is a player that comes across as a vet. So Jahdae Barron's a starter. He's going to play right away, and I think he's going to be a difference maker.
He's like 200 pounds, isn't he? Like 200 or something like that, or
I think he's like
thick.
195.
I like that.
Honestly, 200.
So you're gonna call me out on 5 pounds? Okay, thanks, Joey. That's
what I'm doing.
After a protein shake, yeah, he's.
I mean,
carbo loading, yeah.
Like, did he take a dump before he weighed in or not? I guess that's what I'm looking for. But
Rizzy, our special teams coach, remember, talked about clogging the toilet before. So like, he can lose 5 pounds right before a game.
That's probably the most famous dump, right? Is the Rizzy dump or the dump speech where he went into the locker room and clogged a toilet, right? Isn't that the story?
Yeah, before
What
his
am I
first
missing?
win. Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So now he has to do it all the time, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Hi, Bree. All right. Well, fine. You know what? I'll give you both back your points because you're going to cry about it later if I don't, but it all comes out in the wash. All right. So here, I've been waiting to get you guys on. I'm very interested in this. So RJ Harvey is my favorite pick in the draft for the Broncos. I've made no secrets about that. But so after Jahdae, though, I don't know if you guys remember, like I was doing like the Scatabo thing where I was doing the Scatabo, like he's my guy. All right. So after Jahdae, we had, was it Henderson?
Marion Hampton, then
and
Henderson.
Hampton were like the two that everybody was giving us. And then there was a whole gaggle that we coped, like everybody would cope. If these guys are gone, then I love this guy from Iowa and I love this guy and I love this guy. So I think the first time I saw RJ Harvey was, it was like a sleeper. I don't know, it was Daniel Jeremiah or somebody was like, hey, watch this guy, watch out for this guy. So I started watching him and I was like, holy crap. Like, why is this guy not in the same level as these guys? Like, I didn't see a whole lot of difference. And also, like, his level of competition was pretty darn good. You know, he wasn't playing against the JV guys, which you could argue
Genty did. He played on blue turf against a bunch of used car salesmen. Like they don't,
insurance salesman.
Yeah.
Can we go a step up? Because used car sales, I mean, it seems a little harsh, like Raider. So it'd be like insurance salesman, a used car salesman, and then a Raider.
Yeah.
And he ended up being a Raider. So he didn't even make it to the used car salesman level. But anyways, he was good. He's fine. I'll give him that. He looks okay. But I mean, how far away is our guy? Joey, I'll give you a first shot at that. Is he in that Henderson area for you? Are you excited about this pick?
I'm really excited about this pick. And I think like Henderson would be towards the bottom of the list you ranked there. And I think RJ Harvey's right in that. I mean, when you look at Henderson, there are plenty of concerns there, right? Everyone loved the speed. Everyone loved the breakaway speed. But it's not like this was like a really quick change of direction guy. That's what RJ Harvey is, right? He is fast. He's really fast downfield. You look at his 40 time, it says it all that you need to see. And then also, I mean, he's that guy that could run sideways for 10 yards and then break it up like a Reggie Bush we've seen in the past. Trevion Henderson wasn't one of those. He's a straight line speed guy. I think where Trevion Henderson has a little edge on RJ Harvey is just in pass protection, but that's not to say RJ Harvey can't get better there. I don't see a physical limitation. I don't think anything like that.
No, he's thick.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And Sean Payton said it best, short doesn't mean small for the running back position.
Is that true, Ben? Is that true for you?
Yeah, his quads, my goodness.
No, I just mean you, being short.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you're still a big guy.
I'm actually 6'4", but
because you look smaller on camera.
Yeah, I know. People
I'm sorry,
say that
Joey.
all the time.
Go ahead, tell me. So yes.
No, but quite frankly, being the opposite, a tall running back is bad. Short is okay. Tall isn't good. You don't want running backs running straight up and down. Do you guys remember Ryan Matthews on the Chargers back in the day? That was a tall, straight up and down runner. And
he's an upright
huge
runner.
Target.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Huge target, injuries. Darren McFadden on the Raiders, who had all the potential in the world. Another taller, straight up and down runner. All the injuries that come with it. Your legs get taken out. I mean, I don't think anyone would consider C.J. Anderson a small running back. He was just short.
Right. He was he was short, wasn't he? Was he 5'9", really 5, something like that? Wow.
So
probably still is short.
I think he deserves to be in that conversation. I think he got drafted accordingly. I just think RJ Harvey happened to be higher up on the NFL boards than the media's boards. Nothing wrong with that.
They're definitely on Sean's. And they did move back a few times before they took him, right? Because we took him at 60.
Yeah, I don't remember
60
to get it in there, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyways,
we've moved on. We're on to mini camps and OTAs and stuff now. Ben, talk to me about RJ Harvey. You got him in that same group too?
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend going into it that he was even a running back I'd evaluated or I had done videos on like 4 of the guys. I'm like, all right, if Ashton's gone, here's who I want. But it doesn't matter who I want sitting down in my basement drinking Red Bull by myself. What matters is Sean Payton is an insane I know, come on over. Sean Payton's an insane evaluator of talent. And all the same people who said RJ Harvey was a reach are the people who said Bo Nix was a reach. And how dumb do they look now? So like, Sean has not let us down. He found Alvin Kamara in the 3rd round. He's drafted in the 1st round if he thought it was worth it when he got Reggie Bush. And you look what he's done with Darren Sproles. And I also think he was right about Audric Estime. And I think we still have a lot to see out of Audric Estime. And I kind of think what Audric and RJ are going to do this year are going to be a lot like what the Lions do with Montgomery and Gibbs, obviously. And I think Sean got the doors blown off in Detroit a couple of years ago, and he wants that 1-2 punch, and I think he's going to have it this year.
So if I let's just assume that RJ is like RB1, okay? And I know it's committee, whatever, but we'll call him for this exercise. We're going to say that RJ's our number 1 back. And I can't believe he's going to be our number 1 back for the season at some point, if not out the gate. Like, so everybody says Estime as RB2. We're forgetting the Buffalo benching. We're forgetting whatever else. So is it Jaleel or is it Estime as running back 2? Ben?
It's Estime, without a doubt. I've looked everywhere to try to find a scoop on what happened there, but there've just been weird things that have happened over Broncos history, like the Dallas Cowboys game on the road where like you never hear the story of what happened and guys don't get a fly home on the team plane. There has to be something really weird that happened with that because Audric Estime is a beast, and the game we should have beat the Chiefs in, he looked unstoppable, and we're like, okay, he's our RB1 now. And all offseason, it's from all accounts, it sounds like Sean Payton and company reached out to Audric and told him, hey, we still have huge plans for you. And he even has, right after the RJ Harvey tweet or pick tweeted out like back to the grind or something like that. Like he's down with it too. And I think he knows it enhances him, and nobody's going to want to try to tackle Audric Estime by the 4th quarter. Like it's going to be a good thing.
It would be nice, but I guess I just didn't see much of that last year. Certainly earlier in the season, but I saw it. Well, so it was that Chiefs game, right, where he kind of went off and looked good, but I don't know. Joey, what do you think?
I think it's Estime as well. It just comes down to that he complements RJ Harvey better than Jaleel McLaughlin does.
For sure.
Right? Jaleel McLaughlin is an open field runner, really good in space. What is Jaleel's strong suit? Open field runner, really good in space. RJ Harvey just happens to be the more complete version in my mind. And where RJ Harvey lacks as a runner, Audric Estime then comes in and provides. He's strong in between the tackles. Not to say RJ Harvey isn't, but Audric Estime is a bowling ball, right? He is going to run through you. So in those short yardage situations, I wouldn't be mad at Estime out there. Whereas, hey, Jaleel, probably not so much. I just think Audric fits that mold better. Younger back as well. So youth at the running back position is always a good thing.
Yeah, but and he is young. That's right.
Yeah.
Like he's really young. Younger than our new rookie, right? Because RJ's 24, right? Something like that. Isn't Estime like really young? We have to look at that. I guess I just didn't see a lot of it. I saw a few plays, and I loved that we drafted him. And I mean, I love the picture of him flexing and all that, because he looked. Oh, so Judson says he's 21. So yeah, he's young, but I hope we see it. And whatever happened, he had us talking to. I mean, I heard the reports that we reached out, we're all in, and I think Kliss said something about it too. And normally when Kliss says something, you can believe it. So yeah, let's hope so.
Him and Cecil Lammey, right? Like, because
of course those two.
Rob Gronkowski is actually in Denver trying out right now.
Good thing about you, Ben, is I can always count on you to set me up for my Cecil Lammey.
I do love Cecil. He's a good listen.
I don't know. He's he should be. I don't know. I guess I don't have time to listen to anybody anymore. So I guess I don't even know if he's still good or not. Of course, I listen to both you, religiously. Pat Bryant. So I've heard it all. He's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's crazy how we get with our rookie wide receivers. I'm going to put it on you guys. So first of all, Cortland Sutton gets a lot of flack for not being a true number one. He's the Broncos' number one receiver. I think we can all agree on that. He had 1,000 yards last year. 80 receptions, something like that. In that ballpark. I'm not a stat guy, but let's be honest. He made some amazing plays for Bo last year. We're really looking at Pat Bryant as a number 3 or 4. I think the Mims evolved. Ben, where are you at on Pat Bryant? 6'2", right? So great hands. Not the fastest guy in the world, but he's got some quick moves. He's got a lot to learn. But where are you at?
Yeah. Again, a player I didn't have on my board going into it, but as I look at the production that he had and just watch the actual tape of him at Illinois, when no one can name the Illinois quarterback and he's playing against national championship teams in multiple years, going against Michigan and then Ohio State. And he does not look like a 4.6 guy. Like he has breakaway speed. He knows when to go fast and when to go slow. And his RAS score is the exact same as Amon St. Brown. I think if you take a look at snap count, Little Jordan Humphrey was in on about 50% of our snaps last year because he's a willing blocker, and Sean Payton loves that about him. And I think losing him to the Giants this year, I think Pat Bryant takes that role. And I don't, 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think Sean Payton is the ultimate, like, positionless. Like, he's not going to have a wide receiver 1 as we typically see it. Like, he's not going to have a CeeDee Lamb type guy. He's going to have whatever defense you are in. I have the perfect answer for that, and that might be Pat Bryant as your slot monster who you're comparing to Michael Thomas. Or it might be Marvin Mims because you're got safeties in the box and he's going to be 10 yards behind your safety wide open. So I don't know, is he going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4? I think he's going to play a lot, just like Little Jordan Humphrey did.
I think, go ahead.
Well, I need an answer. Sorry, Ben, if you want the point. 3 or 4.
Call him like your slot receiver, and he's 3.
Monster slot.
Slot monster.
Slot
Cha-ching!
monster.
Yep.
I'll give you 2 points for slot monster. Joey, let's give it.
So I totally agree with Ben here that he is going to be a slot. I think that he replaces that. I mean, Little Jordan Humphrey at the end of the day, I don't even know if I would qualify him as a wide receiver. He was like somewhere in between a tight end and wide receiver,
Yep.
right? Now the Broncos signed one of those this offseason, and that happens to be Evan Ingram, tight end, wide receiver, kind of hybrid guy there. And I do think that Evan Ingram is going to end up taking a lot of those Little Jordan Humphrey snaps for the same reasons Little Jordan Humphrey was on the field. I think Evan Ingram is on the field, but in just a lot better version, the one that can catch the ball down the field, right? So yeah. I think that is kind of Evan Ingram's role a little bit, along with, hey, you have Troutman as your inline tight end there. And then it's hard for me to see Pat Bryant outpace in snaps, at least, to Devon Villay, Cortland Sutton, or Marvin Mims, especially with Evan Ingram now in the fold. And is he a wide receiver? Is he a tight end? Right. I would go more the wide receiver 4 route, in my opinion, there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He is a rookie wide receiver, picked it 3rd round pick. That's normal. If he gets on the field every once in a while and makes splash plays for the Broncos, this is a good sign going forward. I don't think he necessarily has to be the starter this year.
Yep. I think you're both right in your own way. I think what's great about Pat for me is kind of if he pans out like Vele did, he's kind of like, at least he's wide receiver insurance. Like keeping J-Mac on the team would be defensive back insurance too. So we don't fall into, what you lost points for earlier, Ben. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to bring it up, but it was a bad memory. I can't stand the fact that you did that to me. But I didn't know anything about him either. Like, obviously, if even the guys that do all the work were all like, flipping through their notes trying to find this guy. But then you go watch him, and it's like, wow, this guy looks really good. And you know, like, and Joey, to be fair, I won't just watch highlights. I will go watch, like, I'll see a game where he had like some action. I'll go find it and watch it. Because if you just watch highlights, everybody looks like a Hall of Famer, you know. But I do like him. He catches the ball like away from his body really well with his hands, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I never like the guy that lets it come in and kind of does that thing.
Jerry Judy.
Yeah. I was gonna say Travis Hunter at Jaguars practice yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's a little soon to be
it's way
jumping
too
on
soon
him,
for
but
that,
I
yeah.
mean, the Jerry Judy club in the Denver Broncos Twitter sphere is violent, to say the least.
Yeah,
they love him. He's the best receiver we've ever had, and he never had a chance or whatever. I don't, Everybody has their guy. All right,
dude. I do think Jerry Judy would have absolutely cooked in this offense. That's what kind of sucks about it. But like he would have. I know we would have had to pay him again, but my goodness, that would have been good.
I mean, you've seen what he can do. I mean, he had a game against zero coverage.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
But I mean, did he have a good season last year? I assume he did. I bet. But 200 and something yards of it was in Denver. So
yeah, it was something like
he had 1,000 or 1,200 yards receiving last year.
Yeah, probably. It was something like I think a quarter of his production came in that one game against us. But even you take that away, and it was still, yeah. That
game was so frustrating for me. That one, the Chiefs game where we missed the field goal was the heartbreaker. I still feel that pain. I'm going to deduct points for myself just for bringing that one up. Keep my
the
score
Cincy overtime loss, I think, was the hardest one of the year for me because I was just so proud of Bo Nix to lead that drive down in the fourth quarter. Yeah. And, 4th and 1 from the 30, and you roll out with pressure, pocket breaking down, and get the tie to Mims. We had all the momentum, and I'm like, we just did it. He's arrived. Like, Bo Nix hasn't had that pivotal moment because, like, the defensive has let him down, which is crazy because our defense is incredible, but I guess defense and special teams. But to have that blocked kick, if he won for the first time in Arrowhead, everyone and their mom would be talking about Bo Nix, and instead PFF has him as their 22nd ranked quarterback, and you're like, that's just because he didn't have that game, and it wasn't his fault. But this year he's gonna have them.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm down for it for sure. All right, you
guys like the Broncos? You guys kind of into them?
Me?
Yeah, big. I like the Broncos. I watch some of the games.
Watch them. Yeah.
I'll catch the highlights.
Yeah. Okay, I'm your Pro Bowl genie. Okay, you just found me. I'm in the bottle. I come out and I'm gonna grant you 3 Pro Bowl players. Ben, give me a player. Let me think. I need an accent. I don't know what a genie talks like. Like what the? How many?
However
wishes?
You do it, you're gonna get
like a vampire.
Canceled, so don't do an
true.
accent. Yeah,
like it's gonna be racist or something.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But he's a genie in a bottle. We gotta rub
That's Christina Aguilera. I can't do Christina Aguilera.
Okay.
Right? Is that who that was?
Yeah.
I have a picture signed by her, by the way. True story.
Huh?
I'm not going to tell the story on the air. I'll tell it off the air. All right.
Oh, wow.
It's not that good. It's not that good. Trust me. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
My 3 Pro Bowl wishes.
Players. These 3 players.
Give me RJ Harvey, because that would mean that he at least gets a 100-yard game in there, which we haven't had since 2022. I know Pat Surtain's going to always be good, so like let's take him off. Give me Garrett Bowles, and because he hasn't been in a while, and I know Quinn Miners is always going to be good, and I just want Garrett Bowles to be good. And then it feels like quarterbacks, everyone ducks out. Like Bo could have gone to the Pro Bowl this year, so I don't want that. It has to be Bo Nix. So all offensive players. So I want RJ Harvey, Garrett Bowles, and Bo Nix.
I like that. I'm having some trouble with my computer.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you the best of the best in Denver Broncos media. Me, Mile High Mario. Now, I'm no Mark Carmelini or whatever his name is. I'm not bringing on random people and keeping score and letting them do what they do, even though, hey, Joey, what's up? Didn't see you there. Hey, man, it's really nice of you to do someone else's show. Maybe I can get you on mine sometime because, mine's pretty good. But that's beside the point. Yeah, I just wanted to pop in here and take over Mike Carmelini's show for just a hot second and remind everybody that they can watch Altitude Adjustment when we feel like doing it Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. And if you really want to watch a good episode of Mic'd Up, go back and watch the two that I was on with Benjamin Albright and also, God, who else was it? Oh, yeah, Brandon Perna, who's also kind of a big deal. Joey, good seeing you, man. Again, hope to get you on my show sometime. Ben, we've never met. I apologize for this, but this is kind of what I'm all about. So you boys have a great rest of your show and tell Mike that if he doesn't start putting me on the number 1 slot, he and I are going to have some problems. Bye.
Did he just hack us?
What
we
the
just
hell
got
was
hacked.
that? I got hacked. I've been hacked.
Dude, I've been following him on Twitter since like he was one of my first Broncos media Twitter follows. I never met him. That was cool.
When Mario
even know
says
that was
that I
possible.
never go on his show, he's referring to the 4 or 5 times he's texted me 30 minutes before his show and said, "Hey, are you free?" That's
I never get that text. The answer would always be yes.
Thanks for coming on, Mario. That was awesome as always. That's my guy. That's all of our guy. He's like our.
Yeah.
He's more of a mascot than anything. Let's be honest. He works out so we don't say it in front of him because he's kind of big. But at the end of the day, he's just this cute little bug in your ear. He's not that special, but he's got a good show. I'll give him that. Joey,
he does. That's a good show.
Three Pro Bowl wishes. What do you got? Let's get back on task here.
I'm strategically placing this in areas where I hope the Broncos are good this year because I think they need to be good. So I'll start off with Dre Greenlaw. Right, he's coming off a season-ending injury this last year. He has all the talent in the world. We all know he does. That's why he still got the big contract despite having that big injury. If he comes in and has a Pro Bowl year, this defense is going to be for real. I think Bo Nix, man, that's impossible not to say the most important position on the field. Bo Nix needs to be one of the guys that is really good this year. So I'll say Bo Nix. And then for my last one here, I will go with.
Take your time. You don't have to be. I'll be in a rush. There's no takebacks.
Okay.
The Pro Bowl genie only gives them.
Jeremy Crenshaw. He said Jeremy Crenshaw, take a point off. He wants our
Crenshaw
Australian.
redemption?
He wants our punter.
Man, Glenn Hauser last week on the show, picked him, basically made him MVP and the star and the best pick of the draft and everything. I don't know if he was trolling me or not, but it was batshit crazy over Crenshaw. And he's lucky he's not. I think he's traveling. He's lucky he's not in here tonight because I would definitely be calling him. I should have brought the clip just so you could see how I called him batshit crazy. I may have even called him stupid. So don't do that again. I can't have the punter being the MVP. Joey, please tell me that's not it.
No, definitely not it. If you're looking for punter stats, Zach Seegers is your guy. It's out of control. I don't know.
Or Mace.
Special team stuff or Mace. It's too much for me.
Yeah, Mace has a really weird love for punters. He's all about, if you want to know what the hang time of every punt is, just follow his Twitter during a football game. He won't tweet anything for 10 minutes, but if there's a punt, he'll be like, 5.2 seconds on that punt, huh, guys? And I'm like, who gives a shit, Mace?
Last special teams take here. You can't tell me Travis Hunter can play wide receiver and corner, but I can't find a kicker that can punt.
Exactly.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Science. It's science, dude. I don't.
Wait, was that you that said that?
Yeah.
Who said
I don't get
that?
It.
Was you?
Yeah.
That's a famous quote. That got around. That went viral.
Yeah.
A little bit. Wait, who to the kicker or punter thing?
Yeah. Yeah, you tweeted it, and I remember.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
It was a tweet.
Yeah.
Wow, Joey.
Doesn't make sense.
Good for you. I'll give you another point.
People were telling me that it's because you would get injured if you did that many reps, but then I look and I'm like, hey, Sebastian Janikowski, he's not. Maybe if you hit the gym, maybe if
those big beer belly and stuff. He was a badass dude. And he played 20 years, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
He played forever.
Anyways, last one here, Evan Ingram is my Pro Bowl one.
That's
This is
a
the
good
big
one, too.
offseason addition for the Broncos on offense. For as far as free agency goes, he's supposed to come in here and fill a huge void. And we didn't really have a target over the middle of the field last year. It was a massive thing that the Broncos couldn't do, and that's where Bo Nix is supposed to be really good coming out of college. We just weren't able to see it all that often because we didn't have anybody that could, right? Little Jordan Humphrey was kind of our designated slot. We didn't really have a tight end to speak of. So Evan Ingram would be a huge one.
I like it. Greenlaw,
Yeah.
Ingram, Bo
Yeah,
Nix. For you, I think those are sweet.
I think if our oft-injured additions stay healthy, it's going to be really good.
Watch
for
out.
us. That's my only fear, of course, because knock on wood on that. Knock on your head, Ben, just to make sure we got wood. You don't have any wood in there, do you? Attaboy. So, do you guys, you like the schedule when it came out, Joey? Not a big schedule guy. I mean,
I think
the
I think the sign that we have as many primetime games as we have, I think it's 3. And then if you include the London game, it would be 4. It kind of just shows where the NFL thinks the Broncos are. People want to watch the Broncos now. That's exciting. I mean, for where we've been in the past, this is sick. We have some primetime games on TV. Of course, as a fan, it's scary. You don't want to see your team lose on primetime. It's going to be what's talked about for the next week. But fun. I look forward to all of them. I think we obviously have a tougher schedule than what we did last year. But again, another feather in the cap to the Broncos of that is that the NFL thinks you're better than what they scheduled you last year. So you now have to play these other opponents. So yeah, I don't have any problem with it. I think the London game is always scary. I think that could go 50-50 coin flip to whatever team. Just traveling international for a football game is not easy. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I think it's a good schedule.
Yeah. Ben, what do you say?
Yeah, I think it played out phenomenally. The biggest risk is the Broncos not having a bye week after that game against the Jets. But you just look, Sean Payton has shown his ability to take a team to the East Coast and do, they did that overnight camp last year where they played Tampa Bay and Jets back to back. You get to avoid the MetLife turf, which Brandon Marshall came out and said that ended his career early, and how many Aaron Rodgers blows out his Achilles on that turf. So you get to avoid that. It takes away the home field advantage for the Jets. And you're trusting Aaron Glenn, who's never been the head coach before, to get the Jets team ready to go over and play an overseas game. I just trust Sean Payton more for that. And then I think you take a look at just the fact that our bye's week 12. That's truly the perfect time for a team who wants to be playing their best football in January and February. So I really like that. I like the nice slow start. The Broncos were really behind the 8 ball last year. And if you look at the odds, no teams start 0-2 and make the playoffs like we did. And so I love the fact that we can start hot. And then you got our toughest games are in the month of October. And do you know who's the winningest coach in NFL history in the month of October? It is Sean Payton. Let's go. So I think we are going to be starting out hot and finishing even stronger.
I like that. I guess while we're talking about, here's the one I don't like. It's Christmas. So it's Christmas Day
night.
Now,
right?
for me, this isn't going to be a big issue because, Joey, you'll be out with your family probably and doing family stuff. And, Ben, you got 20 kids and so you'll be busy, but me, it's going to be pretty easy for me, but man, just the risk of ruining a perfectly good Christmas day. It's I don't really want the Broncos to play on Christmas. Oh my God. And by the way, just when I thought everything was going to be fine, look who shows up. Shut up, Glenn.
Glenn.
God.
Big Jeremy
It's
Crenshaw,
the worst. He's just the worst.
No.
So what do you think? Are you guys the same on Christmas as me? Is it would you prefer not to have the Broncos play on Christmas?
Yeah,
Joey?
I feel like Goodell's like specifically targeting Broncos fans with these at this point. Like he's just
Or at
trying to
least Sean
ruin our
Payton.
Christmases
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't understand it. I invest too much into the Broncos for this to fall on Christmas Day. This is going to make or break
Yeah.
my holiday. This is not good
My
for
holiday, my whole
mental health at
Christmas
all.
rides on this freaking game. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And then time where I should be spending with family, what am I doing? Screaming at the TV. It's not good all around. Grandma's pissed off. Everyone, it's not good in my house.
At minimum, you're in the corner of your eye watching the game. Maybe like a phone like stream or something like at minimum, because you can't just act like it's not on, because you're not going to be present. Somebody's going to be talking to you. You're just going to be looking at them like this.
Yeah.
Like you're not really going to be paying attention to what they're saying, because all you can think about is, I know we just got the ball and I know there's 4 minutes left in the game. You just have to check out.
It moves Christmas dinner from the dining room to TV tables. It's not good. This is just not good for anybody. So yeah.
It's awesome if we win though, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Oh,
like if we win, Christmas is made.
Oh, dude. It's a Christmas night game, and my kids are so little that they'll pretty much all be in bed, and we'll have all of our fun and excitement, and then truly I'll just be able to watch, and I think it'll be the best nightcap ever for Christmas, because I think we match up really well, and I think they had a pretty atrocious offseason. So, but I get, if it was like that first game of Christmas, and then you still got to open presents with the kids, and you like give him a Bo Nix jersey, and he just got destroyed or something, it would be like, oh, but. Yeah, I'm hopeful for it, and I think we ruined their Christmas this year, and it's not the other way around. And it's the night game.
And if that happens, then obviously the three of us are going to be like, "That was awesome. Let's do that again."
Christmas ever. Yep.
Best Christmas ever. Yeah, I got what I wanted for Christmas. Yeah, I don't know. Right, sitting here right now, I hate it. I would much prefer this game to be like New Year's Day would be great. Christmas Eve would even be fine. I don't know, because Christmas Eve in my family is kind of like a big party. So you can have it be loud and nobody's, I don't know, that crazy about it. But we'll blame it on Goodell. I like that move, Joey. Joey, that gets you a point. I like the conspiracy theory stuff. Yeah. Let's do a little taboo. What's something different? You guys don't watch the show, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to reuse this from last week. It's been a busy week here at the Carmelini Ranch. We've had a lot go down, so I'm going to reuse this. This is something we've never done. I had these written up. Now, Joey, where's my timer? I'm going to give you Peyton Manning, and Ben, I'm going to give you Elway. We'll start with Ben. We're going to start with Elway.
That was
These are
long time
10
ago.
things. These are 10 things associated with John Elway. Okay.
Okay.
Can you handle this?
I just start naming them.
No, shut up. Pay attention.
Okay.
That's a point.
Oh.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I got to get you to say these 10 words.
Okay.
They're just things associated with John Elway. Some of them are very obvious. Some of them are a little abstract. Okay. These were all written for me by Chewy. Chewy, nice work, Chewy. Way to make it. It's $1. Give yourself $1 raise. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get you to say these. I will start the timer after I start the first. Okay, starts real easy, Ben. Don't embarrass me in front of my friend. Okay, Joey, just have patience with him. I'm not going to say what he is, but he's a little. Okay. This is the number he wears on his jersey.
7.
You get in your car. You go for a
John Elway Honda Nation.
You
drive. Oh, the drive.
God, okay. 4 words. From
this
Poland.
One's for Pat. This one's for John.
Okay, this is an aircraft that has rotors, not wings. It could be called
the helicopter. Kobe Bryant.
1983. His name is Dan. He was a quarterback, also drafted.
Dan Marino.
They called Elway. This was his nickname. It's also a great basketball school.
The Hoosier.
John Elway was the Hoosier.
What?
They
called him basketball school.
All right. Where did Skip? Where did he go to school? Where did he go?
He went to Stanford. Stanford.
Okay. He was drafted by this team.
San Diego or Baltimore.
John Elway's drafted by. Okay. His best sport other than football was.
He played baseball also.
If you get in a car that has a manual transmission, you have to push the thing on the floor to
Manual.
switch gears. Damn. Okay,
The-
you suck.
He has
you kinda
horse teeth.
suck.
He has horse teeth. He was bull-legged.
Horse teeth was not there.
Okay.
You missed
What
the
was it?
Duke. His nickname was the Duke.
That's not what I called him.
I know what
I
you
know.
call him, but we
When I
can't
hang
say
out with
that
him,
on
I
this
never
show. This
called
is
him the Duke.
PG-13.
Yeah.
And then clutch was another word.
Ah.
You're fired because my friend made me look stupid. You got 8.
I didn't know if we were talking like taboo, like you couldn't talk about these things. So I thought this was gonna be like
What
about
the hell is
golf
wrong
cart
with
or
you,
whatever,
Ben?
and I was like nervous.
What is
about
wrong
it.
with you?
I don't know, and that's why I said Kobe Bryant when he's okay. All right, Joey, just teed this thing up for you, man. Bring this thing home.
That was crazy.
Again, Glenn, shut up. Don't you have something better to do? Are you on the road, Glenn? Are you sitting in a hotel right now watching this? You must be bored. I can't believe you're in here. He's so annoying. It's not true. I love Glenn. You guys know that. All right, Joey, here's your chance. I mean, I hope you win now because that was really embarrassing from Ben. I mean, Ben,
I don't
I'm
know
supposed
if
to be
I'm
doing
gonna do
shows
good.
with him this year. Well, now with that attitude, you won't. Where's your spunk, man? You just got off vacation.
You set the bar low, right? That's what
Well, you
we're
only got 8.
That's
You-
not
I mean, you got-
8 out of 10 is
Uh,
not bad.
that was good.
I think Glenn got all 10 of these easily. And
In
he's a
fairness,
jackass.
I only watched 2 years of John Elway, but like I would
That's
dominate
not
on.
the point.
Yeah, I would dominate Peyton Manning. So Joe, if you don't get 10 out of 10, I think it's weighted grades, and we
See,
just drop you down.
listen, I set the bar low. Now
Yep.
you're setting it high. I see
Yes.
what's going on
Yep.
here.
I'm
We
trying to
just
get
go
in your head.
backwards.
Yeah.
We just go backwards. All right, here we go. Ready? Ready, Joey?
No. Okay, now I am.
You're not ready? Now you're ready?
No. Yes. Now.
All right, this is the number he wore on his jersey.
18.
The space between your eyebrows and your hairline.
Forehead.
He's called the forehead. This is he injured this, and this was his big injury, and that's why he was let
Wasn't it
go.
a shoulder?
He
I
had
forget what it was.
It was higher than that. It was a little bit higher
Oh,
than his
neck
shoulder.
injury. Neck injury.
Yes, this is his nickname. He's not a marshal or a cop.
The
He was
sheriff.
known as the. This quarterback was taken number 2 in the same draft. He was taken number 1. He got into drugs and was out of the league.
Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name.
They fall out of
Yeah.
trees in the
Trees.
fall.
Shut up, Ben. That's it.
I
That's
forget
the-
this guy's
yeah.
name. I do forget his name.
His brother's name is very
Eli.
famous brother. Plays for New York. This team also drafted Peyton Manning. Same team that drafted Elway.
Indianapolis Colts.
He's famous for these. They're between television shows, and they sell things on television. They're called television
Yes, Sunday
something.
commercials.
Commercials. There you go. Okay, he went to school in this.
Tennessee.
You guys suck. You guys absolutely are
I feel
embarrassing
like
me
we-
in front of my mom.
I had Ryan Leaf.
All right. Ryan Leaf.
Ryan
Yeah.
Leaf, yeah.
No.
Of course you knew it, but that's all right. You know what? The score didn't really move. You guys did good. I gotta get rid of. Man, I gotta get rid of this. Can I block him? How do you block Glenn Hauser from your chats? Is that possible to do? So annoying. All right. Well done. You know what? You guys are neck and neck. We may not have it. This might be another one of those where I just can't award a winner because you're both so small and pathetic. Right, guys? It's not true. I just love you both equally, and I just hate to award, what are we still missing on the team, Joey?
I think
missing
the
something?
center. Yeah, I do see something. I think the center position is something to look out for. I think if you were to look at the offensive line, the weak position there is Luke Wattenberg. Not to say he's terrible. I think for what his contract is, you're getting good play out of him. But can you definitely get better center play? You can. I think that is an opportunity the Broncos was looking at in the draft this year. It wasn't a very strong center class to put a different person in there for Luke Wattenberg. But I'm hoping for big things this year. I'm hoping for improvement because I have a lot of faith in my left tackle, my left guard, my right guard, and my right tackle. It's the one center position. It felt like so many of the run plays last year were a block away, right? From breaking. And I think Luke Wattenberg is that missing piece right now. So I'm hoping for improvement there.
Yeah. Good job. Ben, what do you think? Oh, we're just perfect, aren't we, Ben? Go ahead. Say you can say
Dude,
just be yourself. Be yourself.
I truly have such a hard time saying, like, I think as a Madden player fan or like a fantasy football player, I would say we're missing a skilled position like a wide receiver. But Sean Payton has made it perfectly clear, like to Kay Adams, that, and then through his actions, he told Kay Adams, I actually feel really good about this wide receiver room. And then like Cooper Kupp said he wanted to come to Denver. Deebo Samuel said he wanted to come to Denver. Those were both confirmed by multiple reporters. Keenan Allen
Was one of those guys Cecil Lammey?
No, like Adam Schefter said the Cooper Kupp part, but like he's had multiple swings at it, and he could have gotten a wide receiver. There was still a ton of them on the board in round 1, and he got Jahdae Barron. So if Sean Payton feels good about our receiving room, I'm convincing myself to feel good. But man, I would just love to have like a Deebo type guy after the catch. It feels like I love Cortland to death, and I hope we re-sign him. But it feels like he's always falling down as he catches the ball, and he like was the worst in the league for yards after the catch. It's not how we really used him, but I would just love to not have it all on Bo making a perfect pass every time, like a Deebo Samuel type who makes something out of nothing. And I don't feel like we have that playmaker on this team.
Yeah, I think it could be Mims though. We'll see.
Yeah,
that's my breakout guy this year. So
yeah,
Mims.
He got super hot at the end of the season. You know, it was like we figured it out, and 2 touchdowns in that Cincinnati game. And Troy Franklin like finally connecting on that deep ball from Bo Nix on the last playoff game. So
I'm still out on him. I'm still out on him until he does something else.
Yeah.
Joey, last words on that? You agree with Ben?
The Troy Franklin thing?
Yeah.
I think, Jerry Jeudy, he didn't pan out as a Bronco, but I think what everyone described Jerry Jeudy as is what Troy Franklin was last year. I don't know if that's a very hot take, but as far as like the drops, as far as
the drops,
physicality, as far as those type of things, that's how I kind of looked at Troy Franklin, but it's not taking away what he can do as a sophomore in the NFL. I think the Broncos drafted him because he's a tremendous athlete. And what did we see from him last year? We saw he was a tremendous athlete. It's rounding his game off to make him not just an athlete, but now a wide receiver, a good football player on this team. So I think that's something that could happen. I don't think we saw it last year.
Dang,
I mean, receivers right in the name. Like, catch the damn ball.
Yeah.
Judson, I know what you're doing. You're not fooling me with your A.T. Perry.
Dude,
not bringing that name in here. Don't bring that name in here.
Watch highlights of him, man. Maybe that's my problem, Joey. I just watched too many highlights because I watch highlights. Yeah,
I'm dropping you another point.
Yeah.
I dropped you another point. Sorry.
It's closer than our draft episode or like our preview.
This is a troll. Look, this guy knows what he's doing. Let me look at this. Yeah, see the little smiley face? He's trolling.
No, that's a confident smile. Like that's a.
Yeah. He thinks Mario's still watching. Mario's not watching this. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape about A.T. Perry, but let's not talk about A.T. Perry until he gets on the field and actually does something. I don't want to hear his name again. You know what, Judson? That's a point from you too. Where did I want to steer this? There it is. I'm interested in this. Ben, who was your favorite pick in the draft for the Broncos? Now, I'm going to warn you, the 2 jackasses I had on last week, this is where Glenn picked Crawshaw, right? Is it Crawshaw?
Crenshaw.
How do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
No, it's not Crenshaw. It's Crawshaw. Because I keep saying the Crawshank Redemption. So it's Crawshaw. And then I think, what was the other one? Loman? The big basketball playing loner? Yeah, the tight end. So that's who they picked, which was super fun content, but I expect better out of you guys because you guys are big shots. So, Ben, who's your favorite pick of the draft?
It's got to be RJ Harvey, and it feels lame to say that. And I bet those guys
win the game. Win the game. Don't be scared.
But
come in, win the game.
You see Sean Payton's daughter taking a picture with him at the rookie premiere, and Sean Payton hasn't been on Twitter in months, and he retweets and says, "When your daughter likes your running back pick," and I think he is going to be laughing at this time next year as he looks at RJ Harvey have a better year than both of the first round picks that in Omarion Hampton from the Chargers and Ashton Genty from the Raiders, because I think he's walking into a better system. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Joey, favorite pick in the draft?
Yeah, I would have to agree with RJ Harvey. But hey, for winning sake, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say Jahdae Barron because it's neck and neck between those two. Jahdae Barron, guys, have you guys watched any of his like interviews or anything like that? It's
Yes.
so easy to tell why this guy, when you hear crushed his interview process, absolutely crushed it. I like easily. I think best on Mike Bronco on the team I've seen so far. And when you start falling in love with a person like that, and then you start pairing that with what we saw on the field, no, it's a home run pick right away. I think that takes away a lot of there's boomer busts in the draft, right? I don't think I see as much bust with Jahdae Barron. I think we're getting a good football player here when you match the character with what we see on the field, the athletic ability. And the versatility. If he doesn't work out on outside corner, let's try him on the inside. If he doesn't work on the inside or outside, let's move him to safety. He has that to him. I just don't have a really hard time seeing this this player not becoming a productive part of a productive defense for the Broncos.
Yeah, that's a great take, dude. I agree with that. And you look over half of the Denver Broncos draft picks this year were team captains, and Sean Payton has a type. You get 4 former team captains, and like. He talked about he owes it to the locker room to draft high character, young and hungry guys, and he got them in Jahdae and RJ, I think.
Yeah, he wasn't messing around with what was it, changing the culture of the team, I guess, is kind of, I guess, how you would say that. And it's obvious, like with what he's been doing, that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's bringing in, high character guys, hardworking guys, and like he's not shooting for a lot of flash, right? RJ, you could argue there's some flash there for sure, but like he kind of goes for the safe pick. Like I think Jahdae Barron is probably like the safest pick that we made. Yeah. Like he's like I don't really see anything wrong with this guy. They use him right. I think he's going to be good. Like I would put money on that. Even my favorite pick, which is Harvey, obviously, but there's risk there. He dances around in the backfield a little bit too much. This could, that could bite him. He could end up getting 2-yard losses a lot. And, but let's hope that's not the case. But, yeah, I like both of those picks. I think they're both right. So, yeah, still no points. We're going to see if we're going to break this tie right here. Now, I don't know why my thing is so slow tonight. I wonder if it's my mouse. There we go. All right, so we've been competing to just have a winning season. We've been competing to just not suck. And now all of a sudden, after last year, even though we won 10 games, like some of that stuff didn't look real pretty, but it was encouraging, right? So are we now competing for the AFC West, Joey, or are we still going for who's second place to the Chiefs?
We're competing this year. We are competing this year. I think the Chiefs are a beatable football team. They're a really good football team this next year. Don't get me wrong, but are they the team from 3 years ago? I don't know. I don't think they're that Chiefs team anymore. They just don't have the same amount of talent, especially when you start looking at their offensive line this year. Turmoil across the offensive line is not good. That's something you don't want. When you look at the best teams in the NFL, the Bills this last year were so good because of an elite run game and a really good offensive line. Not a lot of wide receivers to speak of, but a really good offensive line. A run game is going to carry you through this playoffs. It's what the Broncos lacked last year. Now add in RJ Harvey. Have that offensive line, though, in place. I think the Chiefs are really good. They have the best player in football in Patrick Mahomes. He's going to carry them to heights, but they're a beatable football team. This Broncos defense should be able to get after the passer, right? And then just add more to the secondary and to the linebackers. They'll be good. And then Bo Nix going in the sophomore year. Add the run game to Bo Nix. The Broncos should be competing this year. I think there's 3 teams in the division that are in that competition. It's the Chargers this next year, it's the Broncos, and it's the Chiefs. And I say the Broncos are firmly in that mix. So, yeah, they're competing this year for sure. This is one of those years where if they aren't first or second, you are disappointed.
Yeah, love it. Ben?
Yeah, I don't think we're just competing. I think we should be the favorites to win it. And I know that sounds like a hot take, but if you look, we hit the quarterback more than any other team in football, and 97% of the sacks and quarterback hits are still on our team. The only one who had a quarterback hit or a sack who's not here is Cody Barton, and we upgraded with Dre Greenlaw and Alex Singleton. And you look at our division opponents, and they weren't that much better than us last year, and they lost tons of defensive starters. The Chargers alone lost their highest graded defensive player all last season in Poona Ford. They lost Asante Samuel Jr., who had 3 interceptions in his first playoff game as a rookie. They lost their other starting corner to the Chiefs. They lost Bosa, obviously, and they're relying on a 36-year-old Khalil Mack. And you look at the Chiefs, who I think had an equally bad offseason in the fact that they lost their highest graded offensive lineman with Tooney leaving, obviously, for the Chicago Bears. They lost multiple defensive starters as well. So they already did not have a huge advantage on us. And then we had a unanimous A+ free agent class, getting the tight end that Jim Harbaugh wanted, getting 2 Pro Bowl and all pro caliber players in Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw. So I think we were a playoff team last year who just got better. They were playoff teams last year who demonstrably got worse. And even their own, look at their version of Predominantly Orange or their version of Mile High Huddle, and they're freaking out about how bad their offseason was.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really
the
strong,
Raiders
especially
are
coming
actually,
from you.
The Raiders are the most improved team in the division, I think. But they were already so low that I actually, my hot take would be that it goes Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers next year, just because I think the Raiders improved so much, but they were already so much lower than us. We got better and weren't that far behind our opponents. So I think we're favorites.
Watch out for the Raiders this next year, in that I think that's a sneaky team, that one of those teams that can beat anybody on any given Sunday type teams. It might not reflect in the overall record at the end of the year, but who knows? The winner of the AFC West could come down to who's the team that beat the Raiders twice versus who's the team that went 1-1, right?
God,
they're that team this year.
Yeah, like they're going to be a tough out, right?
Yeah.
Like they're no longer, because we swept them last year, which was fun. But we were swept by the Chargers last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're still sitting there thinking, they're going to beat us. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think the Broncos got better clearly, and I think we, like one of the offseason champs, which we don't normally get to say, but like we improved a lot this offseason. This has been a fun offseason, and you're right. Like Ben, did you do it? Like you were dropping a lot of names there. Did you do a couple episodes on this on your show, and that's why you knew all this stuff?
Yeah, dude. And
I
want
to reward you, but it's like I feel like you kind of cheated.
Well, there wasn't any. The crazy part was, I did a video on both those, and usually the team comes and like jumps on and defends and says like, "Oh no, we got this guy instead." And even their own fans are like, "Yeah, everything you said about people we lost is true." And yet the Chiefs are really hoping that their backup tackle they got from San Francisco, who would have been the 34th out of 37 left tackles last year on PFF, that's not going to do it, man. And you got an injury-prone guy that they drafted in the first round. 40% of all college football players who have that injury never play football again, and you're counting on that. It's a big risk.
Does Rashee Rice finally get suspended? Like, this is something
for sure.
What's happening there? I feel like the NFL needs to address this at some point. I was thinking about this today.
It's definitely gonna happen. They were waiting.
I think they've notified.
Notified
the team what's going to happen, but they're just waiting for when it happens, maybe, or something. I thought I read something about that it wasn't like it's going to happen, but it might have just been opinion, an op-ed or something too. But I agree. I think that's coming, right? Something, but when
they had notified. So the deal was, do you remember how Andy Reid was super shady about it and did not put him on IR right away? And the theory was that the league office had told the Chiefs he has an 8-game suspension coming, and he was hoping that he could kind of double dip and have his injury, like not put him on IR and let that be that, because the Chiefs have already been notified that he has an 8-game suspension cooking. So,
yeah, that's too bad. A.T. Perry's already in New York, right? Because then they could have just picked him up and he would have gone there.
Yeah.
No. Probably not the same caliber. Did they
lost
picked up
Hopkins.
a receiver though, didn't they? Didn't they just pick up a receiver though, Casey? To replace him?
I know they have Xavier
speak?
Worthy. Do they still have Hollywood Brown,
Yep.
right?
Oh.
They lost D-Hop. Let me see.
I thought they
Travis
picked somebody
Kelce's
up,
gonna
and
be
maybe I
36.
was.
I mean, honestly, the player who I would be most excited about if I was them is that Ole Miss running back that they got. I guess looked incredible in OTAs. And what's his name? It's not Tootin. It's Rashard Smith or something.
Yeah, Rashad
Yeah.
Smith. Yeah, that's some. Yeah,
He went from Tootin to Rashard Smith.
I was just trying to think of all the running backs who I was like hoping the Broncos got. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember the name Tootin floating around.
Yeah.
I don't remember Rashad Smith floating around.
Yeah.
We still got some free agent running backs out there though. So we're gonna win the West, right?
Mhm.
We got to win. Did you find a receiver, Joey, that they picked up?
They
or
picked
was
up
that
Jalen Royals, and
that's what it was.
And
what it
but they
was.
still have Rashee Rice. We'll see what happens there. Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Sky Moore, who hasn't really worked out for them. Juju Smith-Schuster. They have names, but we'll see
Yeah.
how it matches with the production.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So we got to. I think we need to hold serve at home, for sure. And I guess we can afford to split with two of them and sweep one of them. Some version of that. And then I think our schedule lines up pretty. We got there's like a rough patch of our schedule. I don't remember when it starts, but it's
week 5, and you go Eagles
Is it like
and
5?
to London, and then you got Commanders in there. That I think it's that 4-game stretch. It's going to be pretty brutal. Or Cincinnati,
Yeah.
right? When I come.
Oh, and Cincinnati. Yeah, so Cincinnati's a game we're all circling, right? We're circling that one. We're circling the Commanders game because that'll be fun with the kind of
Sunday night
matchup
football.
with the two, Jaden and Bo. That'll be fun. So
Cincinnati
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cincinnati
that's
is gonna
definitely
be-
one to watch.
I think we're catching Cincinnati in the right spot of the season. It's week 4, and
Yeah. Good
Cincinnati
point.
sucks every single year at the beginning of the year. We might be catching them.
And not only you got Trey Hendrickson holding out and saying he's not going to do workouts, and then also the guy they drafted in their first round is also is holding out as well.
Yeah.
Yes, man, the NFL thinks like we got 4 primetime games, and I think it's 5 because I think the London game is a primetime game, and then week 18 I think will end up being a primetime game, and it's right now it's TBD for time because if the Chargers and the Broncos are both still in it, that'll be. So I think we're going to be on national TV 6 times next year. We got 2 Thursday night football games, which is a little weird with Chiefs and Raiders. And then we play home against Cincy, and then we have the road game against the Commanders. And then obviously London against the Jets. So, but to go from 2 or like one of them essentially last year at the start of the schedule, the 5, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. I think I may have said this last year just because we had our new quarterback, but I think it's early. I'm already really super stoked for this season. Like I'm probably gonna be a little over the top excited for like when camp starts, and preseason games. We've already got that like announced now, right? So I think I saw something on that. We got San Francisco. Are we doing training with them, or are we doing it with Arizona? So
Mike Shanahan is the only one who's reported that, but if he says it, I'm sure it's true. But that's the first one. So a joint training camp in the site of Super Bowl
or
50.
practice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The Cardinals and the Saints for preseason week 3, man. And that's like, wasn't it August 9th or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes. August 9th. Let's go. I'm going to be like ridiculously excited for like preseason even this year. Like it's stupid. And is anybody going to London here?
I don't know. I want to.
Don't know.
We'll see.
No, I
probably not
applied to
yet.
I applied to Hogwarts and I didn't get in.
You didn't get an owl?
No, I didn't get an owl, and I hate Meghan Markle, so I will not go. And I'll be there, and everyone's like, "Oh, look, it's Big Ben," and I'm like, "No, okay, you're talking about a clock, okay."
That's the scariest part about playing down there. Like, I don't even know what the pregame meal is like.
Yeah,
we're not doing
right.
beans on
Chips?
toast for the pregame.
And I don't even know how to like. I don't know what language they speak over there, so it's a little scary for me. I'd be intimidated. Like,
yeah, but you
Yeah,
could use
g'day,
Google
mate.
Translate or something, and then
I think maybe. Like,
and everyone's a
"Hello,
wizard.
chaps."
Like, I don't even know how to act around a wizard.
What do you address a wizard? Yeah, what do you even start with? Like, I don't. Is it sir?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sir Wizard?
Yeah, Sir
Like
Wizard.
they're not
I
all
think.
professor, right? Like are all wizards professors, or was that just at Hogwarts?
I think.
Ask your kids and get back
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. Okay, we'll check in on that. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I've kept you guys long enough. I'm not awarding a winner. It's too close. We'll go with the old 69-69. It's a nice round number. And
Nice.
I think you guys are both great. Two of my favorites, Joey Richards. Let's talk Broncos. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you've been busy. I know that you just got back from vacay, and so I really appreciate you coming on. And Ben, I know what you got going on. Thank you for everybody in the chat, and we will see both of you guys. Let's catch up at camp, shall we? We'll do that for sure. All right, awesome. Go Broncos. Peace out, everybody.